Welcome back. Today, we are opening up a topic that I think every single one of us has wrestled with at some point.
Oh, for sure.
It's that specific, really frustrating feeling of having a lot of energy, a huge amount of desire, maybe even a crystal clear goal on your vision board, but it feels like the engine just isn't catching. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like you're sitting in this high-performance vehicle, you're revving the gas, the noise is loud, the RPMs are redlining, but the car is in neutral.
Or worse.
Yeah, or worse, you're moving, but you're swerving all over the road, hitting potholes, and, essentially driving in circles.
It's the classic problem of power versus direction.
Yeah.
You can have the most powerful engine in the world, a Ferrari engine, let's say, but if the steering column is snapped or if you don't have brakes, you're not going to win the race.
Right.
You're just going to crash faster than the guy in the Honda Civic.
Exactly. And to help us navigate this, we're returning to the work of Genevieve Barron and her absolute classic text, Your Unseeable Power. Specifically, we're zooming in on what would be considered the seventh major lesson in her framework. We're calling this discussion Things to Remember While Using Thought Power.
And this is such a crucial pivot point in her teaching. I mean, if you look at the structure of the book, up until now, she's been discussing the how-to visualize, how to build the mental picture.
All the mechanics.
All the mechanics, exactly, how to connect with the infinite. But here, she just slams on the brakes. She stops the car and says, look, this is not magic.
Right.
This is not a parlor trick where you pull a rabbit out of a hat. This is a natural force. And like any natural force, electricity, water, gravity, if you don't have structure, if you don't have what we might call engineering, that power becomes chaos.
I love that distinction.
Yeah.
It's not magic. It's engineering. It's about order being the first law of the universe. And before we really get into the nuts and bolts of this, because we have a lot of practical guardrails to cover today.
There we do.
And I want to really unpack the psychology behind them. I just want to say, if this episode helps you, please hit like and subscribe for the next one, because we're really trying to build a library of these discussions that you can return to whenever you need that mental reset.
Absolutely. And when we talk about our mission today, moving past the how-to and into the guardrails, we have to address the elephant in the room. Why do people fail at this?
Yeah.
It's rarely because they can't visualize. I mean, most people can close their eyes and imagine a better life. That's the easy part. A 5-year-old can do that.
Right. I can imagine being on a tropical beach right now. I can see the water. I can smell the salt. That takes, zero effort.
Exactly. But the failure comes because they lack the discipline to hold that picture steady against the absolute chaos of daily life. The phone rings, the emails pile up, your boss makes a passive-aggressive comment.
The news cycle is terrifying.
And suddenly that beach visualization is just gone. It's replaced by stress, reaction, and cortisol.
So the theme here, and if you're taking notes, this is probably the headline, is that power without direction is chaos. On-screen text overlay 1. Power without direction is chaos.
Precisely. Barron uses this beautiful metaphor of the mind as a center of divine operation. Now, that sounds very lofty, very, 1920s new thought.
A little bit, yeah.
But she grounds it immediately. She says, think of a river. A river needs banks. If a river doesn't have banks, does it flow with force?
No, it just spills out. It becomes a swamp.
It becomes a swamp, it becomes stagnant, it loses its drive, it damages the surrounding land. But if you put high, strong banks around that water, you can drive a turbine.
You can create electricity.
You can float a barge. The banks give it power.
So the banks are the limitations or the rules we set for ourselves. That feels counterintuitive. We usually want unlimited potential. We hate rules. We hate limits.
We do, because we confuse freedom with lack of structure. But Barron is arguing that true freedom, the freedom to actually create what you want, requires strict internal boundaries.
Limits create force.
Limits create force. And this connects back to that source point you mentioned. Order is heaven's first law. To attract something, to build something, the mind cannot be a scattered mess. It has to be orderly. Barron treats this as, and I love this term from the source material, mental engineering, or the architecture of aligned aspiration. On-screen text overlay 2. Order is the first law.
I like mental engineering because it takes the woo-woo out of it. We're not just, wishing upon a star here. We're building a structure.
Right.
So let's get into the blueprints. Barron outlines specific guardrails.
Yes.
These are things to remember to keep that river flowing between the banks.
Right. So let's look at the first one. And this is arguably the most important because, well, everything else rests on it. The first guardrail is keep one picture steady.
Keep one picture steady. Now, I have to play devil's advocate here. That sounds simple. But in the age of TikTok and Instagram, my brain wants to change the picture every 15 seconds. 1 minute, I want a cabin in the woods. The next, I want a penthouse in the city. The next, I want to be a minimalist monk. Why is switching so bad? Why can't I want it all?
Well, you can want it all, perhaps over a lifetime. But you can't build it all simultaneously. Barron's instruction is very, very clear. Avoid changing your desires frequently. Think about it like a blueprint for a house.
Okay.
If you give a builder a blueprint on Monday for a Victorian cottage, and he starts pouring the foundation,
Oh, you're pouring the concrete.
and then on Tuesday you rush onto the construction site and you say, no, stop, I actually want a modern glass cube.
Oh, no.
And then Wednesday you say, actually, how about a rustic log cabin?
The builder's going to quit. Or you're going to end up with a pile of bricks that looks like nothing, just a chaotic mess of half-started walls.
Exactly. The builder can't construct the house.
Yep.
A simple pattern is the clearest. And this connects so deeply to the classical world. If we look at Plato, specifically his concept of forms, he talks about these essential, clear, unchanging ideas.
Right.
The physical world is just a reflection of these perfect forms. If the form, the mental image, is constantly shifting, the reflection in reality is going to be blurry and distorted.
So it's about signal clarity. If I'm tuning a radio and I keep spinning the dial, I never hear the song. I just hear static.
That is a perfect analogy. The universe responds to the steady signal. If the signal is erratic, the result is erratic. On-screen, text, overlay 3. Keep the mental picture steady.
Okay, so we pick a lane, we decide what we want, and we stick to that image until it actually materializes. Now, let's move to the second guardrail, because this is where I think a lot of modern advice gets it wrong.
Yes.
The second guardrail is do not force emotion.
This is a massive point of contention.
It really is, because I feel like a lot of manifestation advice or even just motivational speaking is the opposite. It's like you have to feel it, you have to pump yourself up, high energy, jump up and down.
And Barron says be very careful with that. She warns against what she calls strenuous effort.
Strenuous effort.
Yes, because think about what creates strain. If you're straining to lift a box, why are you straining?
Because the box is heavy. Because I'm struggling. Because I'm barely able to do it.
Exactly. Strenuous effort implies resistance. It implies difficulty. If you're forcing the emotion, if you are trying to hype yourself up into believing your goal, you're actually signaling to your subconscious that you don't believe it.
Wow.
You're covering up doubt with noise. It's a form of overcompensation.
That makes so much sense. It's like when someone lies or when they're insecure about an argument, they start talking really loudly.
Yes.
They get aggressive to try and convince you.
Precisely. Truth is quiet. Conviction is quiet. This connects beautifully to the Stoic idea of fittingness. We see this in Marcus Aurelius. We see it in Seneca. It's not about wild, unbridled passion. It's about equanimity.
Equanimity.
A calm, unperturbed mind is infinitely stronger than a frantic, high-energy one. The feeling you're aiming for isn't excitement. It's knowing.
Knowing. Can we drill down on that? What does that feel like?
It's the feeling you have when you order something online from a reputable company. You hit buy. You get the confirmation email. Do you sit there and scream, it's coming, it's coming?
No.
Do you strain to believe the package will arrive?
No. I just go about my day. I know it'll be there in 2 days.
That is the feeling. Calm conviction. You're not checking the tracking number every 30 seconds. You just know. On-screen text, overlay 4. Do not force the emotion.
That actually leads perfectly into the third guardrail, because if you don't have that calm knowing, what do? You check.
You check.
So the third guardrail is do not obsessively check results.
Ah, yes. The watching the pot syndrome. Barron warns against hurry and doubt. And the source material brings in a fantastic quote here from Ecclesiastes. Whoever watches the wind will not plant.
Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Break that down for us.
Well, if you're a farmer and you're constantly looking at the sky, waiting for the absolute perfect conditions or checking to see if a storm is coming, you're never actually putting the seed in the ground.
You're just paralyzed.
You're paralyzed by the external analysis. But there's another layer to this, which is the gardening metaphor. Imagine you plant a seed. You want a tomato plant. You put the seed in the rich soil. You water it. Now, if you go out every morning and dig up the seed to see if it has sprouted roots yet, what happens?
You expose it to the light. You break the tiny root hairs. You kill the seed.
You kill it. You disrupt the incubation period. You have to trust the process. There is a time where things are happening underground, in the dark, where you can't see them. In biology, in business, in relationships, there's always an invisible growth phase.
Always.
And obsessively checking for external results is like digging up that seed. It shows a lack of trust in the natural laws.
That's tough, though. We live in an instant feedback culture. We post a photo, we want likes in 5 seconds, we send a text, we see the 3 little dots, and if they don't reply in 2 minutes, we panic.
We do.
This idea of the incubation period is something we've really lost touch with.
We have. And regaining that respect for the natural rhythm of growth is part of this mental engineering. It's accepting that there's a lag time between the mental blueprint and the physical building. The concrete has to dry. You can't rush drying concrete.
Okay, 4th guardrail. This one is about what we say, and this one hurts me personally. Remove contradictions.
This is huge. Barrand insists that speech and habits must match the picture. This is the concept of the inverted thought.
The inverted thought. It sounds like something from Stranger Things. What is it?
It's remarkably common. Let's say you're visualizing abundance. Every morning you spend 10 minutes in your chair, eyes closed, seeing yourself successful, financially secure, generous. You feel that calm conviction.
Yep, I'm with you.
But then you go to lunch with a coworker, and for 45 minutes, what do you talk about?
Oh, I know the script. Can you believe the gas prices? Rent is going up. They aren't paying us enough. I'm broke.
Exactly. I can't afford that. The economy is tanking. You have just inverted your thought. You spent 10 minutes building and 45 minutes tearing down. You cannot build a house if you spend the afternoon swinging a sledgehammer at the work you did in the morning.
It's self-sabotage.
It just neutralizes your power. On-screen text overlay 5. Remove all contradictory speech.
That brings up that Epictetus connection from our notes. Silence is strength.
Yes. If you can't speak in alignment with your goal because maybe reality hasn't caught up yet, let's be real, maybe you are broke. It feels like a lie to say, I am wealthy, when you're looking at an overdraft notice.
Right. It feels delusional.
So don't say it. But also, don't say, I am broke. Just be silent. Do not voice the lack.
Stop talking.
Silence preserves your power. When you vent, when you complain, you're leaking energy. You're reinforcing the very neural pathways you're trying to rewrite.
That's a really practical tip. If you can't say something aligned, just shut up.
Ideally, yes. It's better to say nothing than to speak against your own creation.
Okay, let's move to the 5th guardrail. Because we've talked a lot about thinking and feeling and speaking, but we haven't talked about doing.
Right.
And Barrand is very clear that this isn't just sitting on the couch waiting for a check to slide under the door. Act in alignment daily.
Correct. Barrand states that action is the proof of belief. If you really believed your visualization was true, how would you act? You'd prepare, you'd get ready.
This is where we get into some modern science, right? The implementation intentions.
Exactly. This is well-researched psychology, if-then planning. It bridges the gap. It's not enough to just have the big picture. You need small, logical steps. We call these proof actions.
Proof actions, I like that term.
Yes, small things that prove to yourself that you believe. If you're visualizing a new high-level corporate job, a proof action isn't necessarily get the job today. It might be iron my shirt.
Or update one section of my resume.
Or organize my desk so it looks like a CEO's desk. These are small physical bridges between the mental picture and the physical reality.
It signals to your brain, we're doing this. This is happening. It turns the noun, the dream, into a verb. On-screen text overlay 7. Action is the proof of belief.
Precisely. It engages the reticular activating system in your brain to start looking for opportunities that match that action.
6th guardrail. This one feels more ethical, almost moral integrity and
Right.
use.
And it's essential. Barron teaches that this power must be used for expansion in life. It's never to be used to harm others or to control others.
So no visualizing that your boss gets fired.
No.
No visualizing that your ex comes crawling back, begging for forgiveness.
No. That is destructive energy. And here's the thing about destructive energy.
Right.
It ultimately destroys the container it's held in, which is you. You can't hold poison in your mouth and expect to spit it on someone else without poisoning yourself first. This connects to that Stoic concept of the buck stops here. You have to take responsibility for your own mind and your own choices. You're focusing on your expansion, your contribution.
It's not about them.
When you focus on controlling others, you're actually operating from fear and rightness, not power.
It comes back to that abundance mindset versus scarcity. If I have to hurt you to succeed, I believe there isn't enough for both of us.
Exactly. And the original substance, as Barron calls it, or the quantum field, if you prefer, is infinite. There's no need to take from another.
Seventh guardrail. And this sums up a lot of what we've discussed. Practice calm patience.
And here's the key insight from Barron that changes everything. Hurry is actually fear. On-screen text overlay 6, hurry is a form of fear.
Whoa. Let's pause on that. Hurry is fear.
We think hurry is just being faster, being efficient. We wear our busyness like a badge of honor. I'm so busy, I'm rushing around.
We do.
But mental hurry, that feeling of frantic urgency, that tightness in the chest, is actually the fear that it won't happen if I don't force it right now. It's a lack of trust in the timing.
That's profound. Because when I'm rushing, I usually feel like I'm being productive. But you're saying I'm actually just acting out of anxiety.
Yes. Look at the difference between a master surgeon and a panicked medical student. The student rushes, knocks things over, fumbles. The master moves slowly, deliberately, but never stops.
And the master is actually faster in the end.
Way faster. Patience is not waiting. Patience is active. It's maintaining a positive attitude while working. It's knowing the result is inevitable, so there's no need to panic run toward it. You can walk steadily.
So patience is active belief.
That's it. On-screen text overlay 10. Patience is active belief.
So we have these 7 guardrails.
Yeah.
But even with the list, people get stuck. I mean, I have gotten stuck. Why do we get stuck? What is the mud that we're getting bogged down in?
Well, the first big one is mixed signals. We talked about this with the contradictions. It's that alternating current of belief and doubt.
Yeah.
One day you're all in, the next day you're cynical. It just cancels out the progress. It's like taking one step forward and one step back. You exert energy, but you don't move.
And then there's the impatience and rushing, which we just identified as fear.
Right. And the remedy there, again from the Stoics, is protect your peace of mind. If the rushing is destroying your peace, it's costing you too much. No goal is worth the destruction of your internal sanity.
Because that's the tool you need.
Because your internal sanity is the tool you need to achieve the goal. You're breaking the hammer to build the house.
That's a great image. What about negative rehearsal? I feel like this is something I do without even noticing.
We all do. It's the default mode of the brain's survival mechanism. Negative rehearsal is when you replay the problem or the past failure over and over in your mind. You have an awkward interaction, and then you drive home and you replay it 50 times.
I should have said this. Why did they look at me like that? I'm such an idiot.
Exactly. And from a neurological perspective, you're strengthening those neural pathways. You're literally practicing being awkward. You're practicing the failure. You're visualizing, but you're visualizing the wrong thing.
So you need to reframe it.
You need cognitive reframing. You have to catch that loop and stop it.
And talking against the picture, we mentioned that. Venting, gossiping, it creates a toxic environment for that seed.
But there's one more trap that's specific to beginners. The quitting after a stall.
The stall.
The plateau.
Barron calls it the beginner breakthrough plateau. In any growth curve, there's a period where nothing seems to be happening. It's like bamboo. Bamboo grows underground for years before it shoots up.
Right.
If you quit during the plateau because you don't see leaves, you destroy the roots that were just about to break through.
So the beginning breakthrough is realizing that the stall isn't a failure, it's a consolidation.
It's the concrete hardening. You've poured the foundation and now you have to let it set. It looks like nothing is happening, but if you start building on wet concrete, the whole thing collapses.
I want to make this real for people. We've covered the theory. Let's look at 3 practical examples. Work, relationships, and habits. Let's start with work. Say someone wants a promotion or to grow their business. Okay, so the scenario is seeking growth. The application of the guardrails here is consistent practice and steady proof actions. You don't want scattered goals. You don't want to try to be the CEO, the marketing director, and the janitor all at once.
And this is where we can use that WOOP method we found in the research.
Yes, WOOP. Wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. It's a scientifically validated way to apply these guardrails. First, the wish. I want the promotion. Second, the outcome. Visualize it. See yourself in the office doing the work. Keep that picture steady.
Guardrail 1.
Third, the obstacle. This is crucial. Identify what's in the way. I get distracted or I lack a specific skill. And fourth, the plan. This is the implementation intention. If I get distracted, then I will close my email for 60 minutes.
I love that. It acknowledges the obstacle. It doesn't pretend the obstacle doesn't exist.
Yep.
It isn't blind optimism, it's strategy.
Exactly. It's grounded. And the Stoic influence here is simple. Do your job. Don't get lost in the politics or the what-ifs. Focus on your excellence.
Example 2. Relationships. This
Okay.
is the hardest one for me because other people are unpredictable.
They are. Let's say the scenario is a strained interaction with a partner or a family member. The application here is choosing a calm response instead of reacting.
So guardrail 2, do not force emotion, and guardrail 4, remove contradictions.
Yes. If you want a peaceful relationship, you can't visualize peace and then go gossip to your friend about how annoying your partner is. That's a contradiction.
It is.
The fix here is repair and respect. Visualize the relationship as healed, see the person as their best self, and, practically, use the silence as strength rule. When you're triggered, pause. Stop the negative rehearsal. Don't text back immediately.
Example 3, habits, health or discipline.
Let's say you want to get fit. The guardrail is keep one picture steady. Don't try to be a marathon runner one week and a powerlifter the next. Pick one routine.
And Aristotle has the quote for this.
Excellence is a habit. It's what we repeatedly do. You build the routine that supports the self-image. If your mental picture is, I am a healthy person, then your proof action is, I walk for 20 minutes today, not I run a marathon today.
Just the small proof action.
Just this small proof action that aligns with the picture.
I think that proof action concept is the game changer. It takes the pressure off. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do something that proves you believe.
Right. It aligns your physical body with your mental state.
Okay, I want to do something a little different. I want to do a guided exercise, a quick audit. We're calling this the Thought Power Guardrails Checklist. I'm going to walk us through it. So if you're listening, you could do this in your head right now, or pause and write it down.
This is great. Let's make it concrete.
Step 1, choose one picture and one feeling word. Keep it simple. Don't give me a whole movie script. Just one image, one feeling.
Like calm success or joyful connection. Keep it simple.
Step 2, choose one proof action for today. Something small. What's one thing you can do in the next 24 hours that proves this picture is real?
It could be sending one email, drinking one glass of water, tidying one drawer. So small.
Step 3, identify one contradiction you will remove. This is the painful one. Is there a complaint you make every day? A habit that fights your goal? On-screen text overlay 8. Identify one contradiction to remove.
Maybe it's scrolling social media first thing in the morning. Maybe it's saying, I'm so tired every time you sit down.
Stop it. Just that one thing. Step 4, identify one phrase you will speak that matches the picture. Replace that negative talk with this new phrase.
Instead of I'm tired, maybe say I am recharging.
I like that. Step 5, identify one trigger where you will choose a new response, the if-then plan.
If I feel stressed when the phone rings, then I will take 3 deep breaths before answering.
Perfect. And finally, close with a calm recommitment to consistency. Just tell yourself, I am staying on the path.
That's it. That's the architecture.
Before we wrap up, let's hit a few common mistakes. We've touched on them, but let's be specific about the fixes. Mistake 1, inconsistency.
The fix is commitment to the order of visualization daily, even for 5 minutes. Frequency beats intensity. 5 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a week. It keeps the signal steady.
Mistake 2, talking too much. We mentioned this, but it bears repeating.
Barrand is big on secrecy. Keep the energy contained. When you tell everyone your plans before they happen, you dissipate the energy. You get the dopamine hit of telling people, and then you lose the drive to actually do it. On-screen text overlay 9. Silence preserves your power.
That is so true. You feel like you've already done it because you bragged about it.
Exactly. Keep it a secret. Let the results speak.
Mistake 3, the how trap.
Yes. Focusing on how it will happen too early creates anxiety. You don't need to know how the bridge is built to drive across it. You just need to know where you're going. Focus on the what and the next right step.
Trust the process.
Trust the how to the engineering of the universe.
Mistake 4, antagonistic environments. What if you live with people who are negative?
This is tough. But the fix is protect your peace of mind. You have to mentally insulate yourself. Imagine a glass wall. You can see them, you can hear them, but their energy can't touch yours. You have to be the guardian of your own mind.
And mistake 5, resenting the plateau.
We talked about this. The fix is to view the plateau as a time of consolidation, not stagnation. It's the concrete setting. Enjoy the quiet.
So let's recap. We've covered a lot of ground. We have the 7 bullets to remember.
Let's run through them. First, the picture must remain steady and unchanged.
No flipping channels.
Next, emotions should be calm and confident, never forced.
Quiet knowing.
Then, avoid digging up the seeds by obsessively checking for results.
Trust the incubation period.
Next, remove all contradictions from your speech and daily habits.
No self-sabotage.
Then, take daily actions that align with your mental picture.
Truth actions.
Next, maintain integrity and use this power for connection, not control.
Good vibes only.
And finally, practice patience, knowing that hurry is simply a form of fear.
Patience is active belief. I'm going to write that on a sticky note. That is a keeper.
It changes the whole game.
This has been incredibly thorough. I feel like I have a toolkit now, not just a wish list.
That's the goal. We're moving from wishing to engineering.
Now, looking ahead, we have the structure, we have the guardrails, but there's still that mysterious gap between the static image in our head and the dynamic movement of life.
Right. And that is what we're covering in episode 8. We're calling it the picture to feeling to action bridge. And we're going to talk about how to connect that static image to dynamic movement, how to get the wheels turning.
I cannot wait for that. It really is a practice of persistent becoming.
It is. It's not about getting what you want. It's about being the person who can hold the vision. That's the real prize, the person you become in the process.
Thanks for being here. If you want the full series, check the playlist, and please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.